Hello, people. We are back in the building. Act 2, the podcast, episode 204. And we are back in the building. It's your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tosh, that goes with the mostest.
And y'all know what it is when we sit in these seats. We here to talk a little shit, spread the word a little bit.
We look like we're getting ready for a baby shower.
We're not. No baby shower. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcast Player, FM. There's going to be some updating soon because, sometimes the episodes lack back, but, there's going to be some updating. Yeah. But check us out, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. We wasn't here last week, so we put up an episode that we're going to talk about, and that's it. Let's get right to it. How the fuck are you? What say you?
I say...
What say you?
Mi soy bueno. Mi soy bueno. I am good. Yo soy bueno. I am good. I'm doing good. Mentally, I'm a 9. I feel really good today. I'm feeling the holiday spirit. Like, not just the holiday. Yeah, I guess it's the holiday spirit, but I'm just, festive. Feeling good. I'm feeling festive. I'm feeling love. Y'all know we're going to get into it. I'm still on a high from the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm really enjoying my husband and my friends and my homie, my lover. Matter of fact, we're going to finish this podcast a little early so you can be my lover this evening.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
But yeah, I'm a 9. I feel good. Only reason why I'm not a 10 is, the same thing I've been saying. It's the end of the year. This is my cool down period. I don't feel like I gotta finish strong. Like, nah, I'm chilling. Like, it's the end of the year. I'm taking it easy. I feel good.
Never cool down on the 10?
Huh?
Never cool down on the 10? Or you always gotta cool down on the... Like, because you correlate the two with cooling down.
No, I'm not.
Got to come down.
No, I still, no. The correlation is not the cool down. That's why it's not a 10. It's not a 10 because I still feel the same, like this is the end of the year. And I'm a little tired.
Sluggish.
Like,
okay,
yeah, I'm a little tired, just mentally a little bit.
11,
lot of work.
11 months is hard.
Yeah, a lot of work going on. It's the end of the year, but I still have a lot of work to do. So yeah, that's that. Financially, finances are an 8, room to grow, thanking God, looking forward to being, to his blessings and to being a blessing. I'm actually working with my sister to, coordinate a coat drive. So stay tuned for that. I may share some information here depending on the logistics, but nevertheless, just, thankful for God's blessings. Work is a 10. Work is really good. Work is really busy. Has some great things going on this week. Got some heads up the next year is going to be even busier, which I'm actually looking forward to. It gives me opportunity to just be more engaged, learn more, do more, and all of those things. I like being challenged at work. I know my husband is the same. Of course, you don't want every day to be challenging, but I don't like a mundane work life because I'm not one of the people that subscribe to saying, oh, I have ADHD, but I just have to be engaged and challenged or I get bored and I'm not going to want to do the job. So I'm looking forward to it. Work is a 10. And physically, I feel good. I'll say I'm a 9. Went to the gym with my baby. Started back this week. Got a little interrupted because of my schedule, but I plan to become more engaged. About to get my membership soon so that, the times when I'm not able to go with him, I am still able to go. But, I'm looking forward to that. You got a $9.99 membership. You can't do no classes enough and you can just go get on the machines. I would like to do the classes at some point, but that's not like a bad deal, just to kind of kickstart yourself. So I'm feeling good. So cool, I am a 9, 8, 10, 9. How are you?
I'm good. Your boy is, I'm good. Mentally, I feel like a 9. Finances, 8, always gonna leave room for growth there. That's why that stays a gap. Work, I would say, is a 10. Was at the office talking some good things over. Got a lot of positive things coming soon, especially in January. Yeah, so I'm looking forward. I'm excited, like you said, about being challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of had a little trepidation because I'd never been summoned to the office like that before a job and into the conference, into the war room. But it turned out to be good. I had to let my guard down because it was like, after like 15 minutes, it was like, all right, just chill in here. And I was like, I'll turn the fuck up in here. Y'all better stop playing with me. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to that.
That's why you wore your good shoes today, your Cole Hines?
No, but I was dressed that day for not work.
Okay.
I was dressed for business because I had to be there at 9 o'clock. But everything went well. I was happy with what they were saying. Obviously, more opportunity, more money. But it's not about always the money. It's about being challenged and not doing the same mundane thing every day. So that's great. Physically, I feel like a 10. Yeah, I'm dying. I feel like I plateaued. I lost all this weight, lost 50 pounds working out. And I feel like I plateaued at a weight, but I feel like not, because, you know, I'm injured. So I'm waiting to get fixed to like
So
really go hard. But I feel like I'm just like hovering around the same weight, and it's like a little bit frustrating. But I kind of know why, because it's like I'm not killing myself or trying to do things that is going to injure me more.
Did you see the meme that I sent you where it was a rock, right? And somebody had dumped like a bucket load of water on a rock and it didn't do anything. And then somebody, that same rock, that same bucket of water, it just drip, drip, drip. And eventually it carved into,
right through the rock.
And it just shows consistency is what creates the change. I am super proud of you. How can I say this? I don't want to say you missed the mark, because everything happens for a reason and you do what you do. And I know when it comes to social media, you are part of that generation where it's new. And I'm kind of on the tail end of that too. Like, we create content when we want, but we aren't content creators in the sense of filming every part of our life. And we still have an opportunity. Your journey has been amazing. And I see some people, posting, it's weird how the algorithm works. I've been seeing these men who have been much bigger than you were, who've been posting videos at like where they started and where they are now. I'm like, this is my husband. Like, my husband could have done this. Like, he could. And I have videos and stuff of you working out, and I have some ideas of, even if, if you don't want to post that, I want to post to really, just big you up, because you really did your thing, and I'm super proud of you. And when I see these videos, it's motivational for me, like seeing what you've done, but seeing those videos, it's like, this dope, and my husband did the same thing. Like, this one guy, I think he started at 357 and he's 221, and he has showed a video of him with his children. He said, was his motivation, because he had like some older children and then some younger children. Like, I think he got remarried or whatever it was, but like, that was his motivation. He wanted to be healthy, to do things with him. And it was just looking at it, I'm like, my husband has this story for a different reason, but like, you really did your thing, and I'm super proud of you. And I know you're going to continue. Like, this wasn't like, oh, I need to lose weight and then you gain it right back. Like, no. I know this is a life change for you, and I'm looking forward. Like, I see the changes that you've made now, and I think your body will start to evolve in a different way. Excuse me. And I'm looking forward to, what's to come in the next 6-12 months, God willing, that, we all stay healthy. Like, you really have done your thing, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you.
Yeah. What's your whys and woes for today?
My woes are just new challenge as far as work and working with new people. That's always a I don't want to say red flag, because it puts a bad connotation to it, but it's always different.
So it's not a whoa like a sad, but it's like a whoa, like
like a real whoa with exclamation point.
Like a whoa.
Yeah, so that's always different, and I'm looking forward to forcing myself to change in real time when I'm recognizing that I'm reverting back to my old self. Because for the enormity of this job, I do need help. So as long as I'm able to recognize that, I should be able to do what I need to do. My wow is the couple days we spent down with our family. We're gonna get into that, but yeah, that was my wow. Hanging out with real family.
Yeah, proud of. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about the updates in your new job. I know you're going to do awesome, and I love the fact that I have noticed something in you too in this season of your life of you being more introspective. Just about who you
Tell
are.
me more. Say more words.
Just about like who you are. Like you've even if it not saying like you're looking at things to change about yourself, but you are very self-aware and like taking a step back and looking at circumstances to kind of look to see if there's something to change or how you feel or being confident and standing 10 toes down on who you are, what you say, what you do. But I just, not everybody, it's like self-accountability, and not everybody takes a moment to do that. Hearing you say, being able to look at who you are as a leader and making changes as needed in the moment. Before you kind of used to have the stance like, I am who I am, like that's just what I do and how I do it.
I don't sound like that, bro. I had to tell Eddie today, I don't fucking sound like that, bro. He's like, nobody want to hear your mouth. Yeah. I'm like, I don't fucking sound like that, bro.
It's like Charlie Brown's mom, like wah 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 wah. But yeah, like, before that used to be your stance, like this who I am, like this how I do it. But this season of your life, and the crazy with me, you have changed that a long time ago because we would
I gotta be tender with you.
Tender lover. But hearing that now spill over into your professional life, it's a good thing to see. Some people I don't like when people have that stance of I am who I am. I can't, like, I ain't gonna change you. Like sometimes we do need to change who we are in certain ways. Like what may have served us in one season of our life may not serve us in the new season of our life. Like I think about how my control issues that I used to have, and it was because I didn't trust people, and I didn't trust that people would do a good enough job or do it the way I wanted to do it, and I wasn't willing to relinquish that control. We also talked about how I used to be so fixated on trying not to be like certain people in my life that I never allowed myself to be
you,
who I truly was meant to be, and I've changed that. So there is seasons like it. Just because we're in our 40s, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm too old to change. Nah, like there's definitely room to change, and I see that in you, and I love it.
And the fact that I can apply that to other areas in my life, like you, my personal growth, it's like I want to see myself apply it in work in my professional life, because I just think it would break up the expectation. Like I'm able to do something different. Yeah. It's like I've been doing what I've been doing, and I love what I'm doing, but I've been doing it for so long that sometimes the days be like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to do this forever. So what is next for me?
And what do I have to do? As long as it's not putting it's not challenging your dignity or your integrity. No. And if you feel comfortable, there may be some things where it's like, no, I'm not comfortable in doing that, and I'm not going to change who I am. But there may be some areas where we are willing to, embrace, and not meaning let go of some parts of who we are, but adding to who we are. That was bars.
It was bars. We should have put that in the song.
My wows and woes, I'll say my woe is this cold. I am not for it. I am not for the cold. I love a coat. That's my childhood trauma. I love a coat. I love having lots of coats. I love having different coats. But I would prefer
not to wear them.
Not to wear a coat. I would prefer living someplace that we didn't need
What kind of backward shit is that?
I mean, because we need them.
You lived in the Northeast your entire life. You love having coats. You have multiple coats, but I love
fall and winter clothes better than summer clothes.
Because it's layers. I like it that way too.
Yeah, you like my style.
No, I like myself that way too. I like to layer up. I like the fall. I like your style, but I like to layer up in the fall. I like boots and jeans and.
But
coats.
I would rather live somewhere where it was 80. I didn't need any of that. nevertheless, that's my wow. My wow, again, as I mentioned, I know you said we'll get into it. It's just, this was one of the best holidays that I think we've had in a while. Last few holidays I think have been a little emotional for us, or for me at least, but for you too, because I know if my emotions are awry and that affects
no, but
you.
for us, for that reason and the other reasons.
Yeah,
So we can be honest with that.
I'm just very grateful. Just very grateful for the time that we had a chance to spend with our family. And I am especially happy because my sister and I were kikiing it up and all giggly because I seen in somebody's story that they had mentioned that, the good time that they had, and that it's not a trip that they wouldn't mind taking more often. So we are like kikiing it up like, yes!
Jesus Christ, fucking cackle hands. So last week we had a little quick trip down to see our family, to see her sister and our kids, the littles and the bigs.
In the mid, because Aubrey does not want to be one of the littles. Yes.
Yeah. So when we was, and again, let me just say how I felt. I felt always trepidatious because I'm going somewhere. And I don't know if I'm going to be comfortable. I don't know if I'm going to be able to smoke. I don't know if I'm going to be able to chill the way I want to chill while she's doing what she's doing. And this is like one of those trips that usually is, it's for us because we, have our time alone, but it's mainly for her because she misses the kids so much and she misses her sister. And like, I don't be thinking about those things a lot, but when we got there, it was fun to see, like, the fact that, okay, damn, that kind of skipped my mind, the fact that she talks to her sister every day, but she does miss like touching her and feeling her. So to see y'all connect and hug and talk and laugh and giggle and all that stuff was super cool. And then the kids, obviously, the way that they care about you and love you and was happy to see you, it's almost like I'm just there. And I know that they care about me. I get my hug second, and that's all good. But,
and Mackenzie care about you.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they don't. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it leaves me in a slow motion moment for a minute because it's like, wow, like, look, I forgot that this is what she misses. Like, I see why she misses this because they give her so much love. And then her sister, like, her and her sister went through something and they were back on again, and it's the fact that they connecting and seeing each other and hugging each other. Like, I used to think it was disgusting when years ago before we were married, and I kind of still do to a point, but it was just good to see my wife in that element of like, I'm around my other sister and we hugging and everything's cool and we laughing and she's happy to see me. And Erica's hospitality towards me was like, wow, like, I always thought like he didn't fuck with me like that for some reason. But yeah, so her hospitality towards me, just wanting to make sure I was good, I was okay. She drove an hour away to get me weed by herself like that. She just, it was heartwarming. It was like, damn, she really wants me to be comfortable because she missed her sister and she want to hang out and she, missed me too. But again, it was just fun to see. It was loving to see. It was happy to see. I felt really, really good. And I was thinking to myself on what you said, like, damn, this trip is like a getaway if we do it a little better. Like, if we probably got a better hotel and got a car and, like, probably stayed like more closer to Atlanta or like in the middle where it's those, we're not far away from them, but we're not far away from the big city. Like, we can go into the city, maybe have dinner, experience that kind of thing in Atlanta. So yeah, that it was a great trip. And I was thinking to myself, for cost wise, it's easy to run down there and have like a great vacation. Again, if we tune it a little bit better to make it, while we're with the kids, we're with the kids, but when we back with us, it's kind of, what we like.
Right.
So yeah, it was cool. That's how I felt. Again, shout out to Erica, my sister-in-law, for just making me comfortable and going out of her way to make me comfortable. I really appreciate that, and I love you for that. And of course, the kids, I get my secondary hugs and conversation, but I love seeing how tall they got, how much they've grown, how
Their
their
conversation,
vocabulary, like these are the ages that I like to interact with kids. Like I don't like to interact with really really young kids. I've said that before. You can sound fucked up, but I don't, because young kids don't have nothing to say. But our kids now at this age, like they all have something to say, and they all have their own personality, and it's super super dope to see like how they form. So that's my take on the trip. What say you? What was your take?
I, first of all, I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm gonna try my best not to. But I'm very, very grateful that you like you said, you always make promises and you keep them. And you said this is what we was last year when we went, and then last year I think like when we came home, I was talking about, well, next year, and you said, okay, let me just make sure I understand. Is this going to be like our annual thing? And I said yes, because the family is there, and it's easier for the two of us to travel there than for her to come here with 5 kids. So, well, my oldest nephew, he's grown, but he's our kid too. So I appreciate that, you understood, accepted, and agreed to that, and just orchestrated us to be able to go there and be seamless. I was a little afraid at first because, it was a little minor delay, and I know how my baby gets when he doesn't have his medicine. But that was all rectified and it was good. And you really, like he said, he just was along with me, sitting, chilling for hours, right? Not doing nothing, chilling. Probably the same thing that he would have been doing had we been home and we weren't outside. But it's different when you in somebody else's space, because me, I'm taking my shoes off. I got
She
my
was
feet
napping and shit.
I got my feet up on the sofa. I'm laying on the kids. I got my legs up on one of them. He's not going to get that comfortable, even though he could have, and they wouldn't have looked no way different at him, like he's Uncle Mar. But I understand, like, that's just not him yet. So I appreciate your sacrifice and just allowing that time without you ain't give me no attitude. You wasn't like looking at the watch, like, and I know the first night, we was there kind of late, but after that I tried to be mindful of like, all right, let me get my baby back to the hotel so we can rest. And we was like tired because and one thing that I love about our circle, our family, our nucleus, and this includes both of my sisters as well as our kids, when we're together, we don't have to be dressed. We love to get dressed and look cute and all that, like if we're going out, whatever. But we don't have to get dressed. We don't have to get fancy. We don't have to have no plans. We just like being together, talking, watching TV. Or it's one of them things like that you and I share, like we can have a comfortable silence. Like we don't have to be engaged or feel like, oh, something is wrong because this person ain't talking to me. Like, no, we chilling. My sister on her phone, or she might be talking to one kid. I'm talking to another kid. The other kid flipping. The other kid, doing something. Like, my niece was very mindful, even though she is at that stage of, she's 8. She's being very independent, but she's very aware. So like when my sister is like, ask Uncle Mara if he want water, she's like, I'm going to get him one from here because he likes it room temperature. He doesn't like it cold, because she remembers those things and she cares. And kids show that they care in a different way, but just very mindful. I call him Walter, and she was like, that is Uncle Mar. Like, what are you doing? Like, they really love him, and I love that you show, or we show them an example of, just who we are. They see us, they hear our conversations, we engage with them. So it was just it was I'm not gonna say like my tank was on E, because we were good, like, but that really like topped my cup for the end of the year, like kind of gave me that extra burst, just being able to be with them. My oldest niece is 16. She did not come up in the early summertime with the others, so I haven't seen her in a year, since last Thanksgiving. And just even being with her and kind of just hugging up on her. She's tiny. She a little Polly Pocket. Like, she's just a little small little tiny thing, but just being with her, talking with her, seeing their personalities. My Aubs, that's my twin. I cut Aubrey's cord when she was born, and since then we have been attached at the heart. I love all my kids, but that one, we're attached at the heart. Mackenzie, like I said, she's 8. She wants to do everything. Like, she wants to do it, and she knows she will learn how to do it, and she will do it well. She's like the baby gene. Aubrey's the silent genius. And Mackenzie she's gonna let you know, like, I know it, I got it, I'm doing it. And Mason, he's the youngest. He's, he's following his sisters, but he wants his own independence too. My oldest nephew, we got a chance to hang out and see him that first day, but then he traveled back up to Philly to spend with his dad and his family. But I got it when we got home. I got a chance to link with him again. So it was just really just a not just the holiday, but those days that we just filled with love, and it feels good. Sometimes we focus on the things or people that we don't have in our life, whether it be children, me not having any children, your relationship with your daughter being a little estranged right now, neither one of us having a relationship with either of our parents, both of us losing our grandparents, that we don't have relationships. So sometimes you can get caught up in what you don't have. But this was just a reminder of
what we do have.
Thank you, God. We got a lot.
Yeah.
We got a lot. Even if a lot comes from a few, we got a lot. And it was just, and I said to myself, you know what? God ain't put no babies in my belly, but he damn sure put them in my heart. And I'm just extremely grateful. My sister, I'm so proud of her. And we talked about this before. And I talked to the kids too. Like you said, now they're able to like really have those conversations. Mm-hmm. And we talked to them about what it means to sacrifice, because my sister sacrificed a lot to relocate in order to give them a better life, because she knew raising her kids in Philadelphia, she just couldn't give them the life that she wanted them to have. And just seeing, she went down there. She didn't know anybody. She still don't have no friends.
Left her friends.
Yeah, left her family. And it's just she's making a life for herself. And I'm just extremely proud of her. I'm extremely happy for them. And
that shit is super respectful. Just to be like, I had enough. And I'm out.
Up, yeah.
Like, a lot of people can talk about it, and I don't know how long. I know she talked about it for a while.
Yeah.
But the fact that she acted on it and did it and is doing it, yeah, that's super. Shouts out to you, E. Like, super respectful, and I commend you for it, because it's scary. You go into a place where you don't fucking know nobody. You don't know a damn soul. If you get scared or lonely, you don't know a damn soul. So yeah, it's
everybody you meet, you gotta introduce yourself to them. Yeah. Like, that's just a weird environment. Like, you see no familiar faces.
I feel like that's in me. Like, the only thing that I would be scared about is my job. Like, I want to go and make the money that I make now, and not. But again, a lot of people say you got to take a couple steps back, take some steps forward. But it's like we create this lifestyle that we live, and I don't want to deviate from that. So that would be the only thing. But as far as like going to another state and living, shit, like I feel like I would want to experience new people and new stuff and new places and new stores and a new way of living.
Learning. That's another challenge. Not that we're journey, like those people that are like always looking for the next risk, but
learning the roads and how things work and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it's new.
We kind of did it.
And she's been down there a year, and it's like a year and a half, and I'm sure she's still learning where shit is and how shit works and how to get places.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely admirable to be able to step out on faith and do that.
And she lives in the area where you can't walk nowhere. It's just like where we live. Like, you need a car to go everywhere. There's no fucking corner store. No, like, you want a soda, you got a hankering for a soda, a Woo Lee, you getting in a car and driving to get that.
Yeah, you gotta have a car.
Yeah.
You gotta have. I don't even know. I mean, I know the metropolis of Atlanta has public transportation, but I don't think there's no semblance of public transportation where she is. She's closer to Alabama and Tennessee than she is to Atlanta.
Yeah, people out there got well water.
Yeah.
People out there got well water.
I could definitely see us relocating. My only, I won't say, like, in our family, we don't have a big family or a big family that's close. And with my youngest sister being here, I would feel like I would hate to leave her by herself. And like everybody's going, but I could definitely, we kind of have always taken that challenge though. We've moved to new places, but again, we've always been close to what was familiar to us.
But at the same time, getting further and further away.
We got further. Like where we were now moving, it was like, Yeah, we don't know this area.
No.
Like, even though we have been in Jersey for 16 years, even now, sometimes when I have to go, just like to the hospital for appointments, I have to remind myself, you're not 15 minutes away anymore.
Nope.
Like, we are, like, going to Philly, like, we're 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Like, we're not close like that anymore.
You know what, when it hits me? The airport.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? We seem so fucking far away from the goddamn airport.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It used to be a hop, skip, and a jump. Now it's like, shit, like 50 minutes to get to the fucking airport.
Yeah.
On the highway.
We actually got 2 options.
Yeah,
now.
on the highway.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm definitely, this was a beautiful weekend. We flew down Tuesday. We, didn't bump into any crazy, air traffic. I know usually around the holiday time
in the airport.
Yeah,
when we
like
came
people
back.
have delays and stuff like that. We made it good with TSA pre-check, so we weren't in no crazy long lines. Frontier,
We didn't get flagged.
count your days because y'all played in our face. But that's my fault because my husband's like, I talk to men to Frontier because I'm like, babe, it's cheap. It's an hour and a half flight. We can just, like, we don't have... I'm going to let him spend his money the way he wants to next time because even for me, the uncomfortability.
Don't even bring me the comps to say, oh, the trip costs this, but when we do this, it costs this. I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah. The uncomfortability, it feels like you're sitting in a stadium seat. Like, that just... Like, that being uncomfortable like that, I don't care what y'all say about, oh, it's the same, and then we ain't never had no issues on American. We flew United, we ain't have any issues. I can't do Frontier anymore. This is our second time ever. Well, last time we just flew home, and this time, we flew round trip, but I'm one and done for Frontier. Like, I can't
fly those ever again. I want to fly Delta. I want to fly United. I want to fly American. I want to fly Alaskan. I want to fly Emirates. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to fly anything else.
I heard JetBlue isn't bad.
Not doing it. Not doing it. JetBlue doesn't have. Flip was just talking about that. They don't have a first class either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They have a front.
We don't have to fly first class.
Look, I work hard. You work hard. And when we take these trips...
But sometimes when you fly first class, the airfare ends up being more than a hotel accommodation.
I think that's what's called lifestyle. Like, you remember that. And you, like you said, if you're on a plane for 5-6 hours, it pays to be in first class.
What if you're on a plane for 3 hours?
It might pay to be it depends on where you're going.
Do you feel like there's I feel
like if we're taking a short trip to see the family, we don't need to be first class, but we don't need to be on no goddamn Frontier.
No, I understand that.
But if we going to like an island, then hell yeah.
3 hours.
What island is 3 hours?
Jamaica.
No, we need to be first class.
You're raising the budget here.
We need to be first class.
Okay. All right. But great holiday. I hope all of you did. And if you didn't...
At least we need to try to be first class.
And if you didn't, it's one day of the year. I know it's a time period, like it's a season, but please try to focus, on the things that you do have. Like I mentioned, last year we went to see my sister too. The circumstances in her life were a little different, which made the visit very different. The year prior to that, again, like he mentioned, we were going through some turmoil, so we weren't on the best terms. So we had Thanksgiving in our house by ourselves. It was very emotional for me, but we made the best of it.
We felt it, yeah. But we just made the best of it.
Yeah.
But I felt it on my end.
Amazing.
She felt it on her end. And leading up to it, we kind of act like we wouldn't. And it was like, we're just going to eat dinner.
We'll be good.
It's just us. And sitting there, it was like, this is
different.
It's a little weird. Especially knowing something was going on. It was like if nothing was going on, we would be together. So yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
But again, shouts out to E. Shouts out to the kids. Yeah, we'll see y'all.
Yeah.
Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think any fucking president that's leaving out of office would do that. I would do it. Yeah. What's your take? That's quick and short for me, but what you say?
I feel the same exact way. And no matter what the incoming president says, I feel like he would have done the same thing.
Yes.
I do have a question though about pardons. Are there stipulations like certain crimes that can or can't be pardoned? Like, what if your son was a serial killer? Can you pardon that?
I don't know, but I think I would have to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say yay or nay, but I think there's people who've been pardoned for murder. Now, how many people? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But there's people who've been pardoned for murder.
Okay. So yeah.
And clemency.
Yeah, I know clemency. Well, clemency. What's the difference?
The governor gives clemency. The president gives a pardon.
Oh, okay. So I do know that so it says, I just looked up what crimes are not eligible for pardon. So crimes that are not eligible include state or local offenses. The president's power to pardon is, he can only pardon federal offenses.
So that's the top of the food chain, though.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's the top of the food chain. So if you got a Fed case, yeah, he can pardon that.
Okay. So, I mean, those are the things that are worse. Well, it makes sense. Federal, president, gotcha. I would have done the same thing, especially because, again, this isn't a case. I mean, not saying it wasn't wrong.
Let's give some context here. Hunter was strung out on crack, banging porn stars, buying guns, and going on live and Instagram, exploiting himself and doing all kinds of crazy shit. So yeah, just to give context to like his crimes.
And basically his crime was that he lied about using drugs
and crossing state lines with guns and shit like that.
When he applied for the gun license. And not to say that it's right. How many people have used drugs and still apply for a gun license? Yeah. Like it's not.
That's why they tell you if you get a weed card, you can't get a gun.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have done the same thing. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're the president. You got the power. When we talk about nepotism, I mean, this is, a cousin of that. And who wouldn't? I mean, really, who wouldn't? I can't think of
your last act of power. My son's in trouble, and this thing could fuck up his life forever. And I'm coming out of the place of power.
And he was facing like 40 years, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's facing like 30 to 40 years. So if I can do it, then yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Hopefully his rehab and us as a family talking to him gets him straight.
Yeah.
And he don't do this shit no more. But yeah, I'm gonna get him out the situation. I'm not. How would you look leaving the place of not unless you don't fuck with your son. If you didn't have no relationship with him and he got in trouble, then that's one thing. But he's like a part of the Biden family. Like so,
right.
I'd get him out. I'd definitely get him out.
Considering Joe Biden
son, daughter, whoever,
other children.
Yeah, he lost 2 kids.
Yeah, so I'm sure the relationship that he has with
3.
his son.
I'm sorry.
It's on like this is his last surviving child. I would have. So
yeah, without a doubt. Jordan nearly chokehold death. This was the Marine that was on the subway in New York. That the guy that got on the train said he was acting a little bit erratic. Some people said they were scared and shit, and he choked the guy and held him for 6 minutes. Choked him to death. And another guy held his arms while he was choking him. And this guy, his closing arguments was the other day. What say you? What do you think should happen to him?
He should be charged with murder.
Which, like, 1st degree murder, 2nd degree murder, 3rd degree murder?
I would say 2nd degree murder because
you call somebody deaf, that's 3rd degree murder.
Okay, because I don't think.
What about manslaughter? You don't think manslaughter?
I don't. Well, what differentiates manslaughter between?
Because you meant to kill somebody. You was a Marine who was trained in combat, and you know that you can choke somebody out in 10 seconds. You held this guy's neck for 6 minutes, so you knew that you had the potential of killing this guy. Like he was out cold, limp. Arms not moving, not a threat no more, and you still squeezed for 6 minutes.
Just because he was a Marine and he was trained to do that doesn't mean that he was the best. And I'm not making any excuses. I don't think that he intended to kill him. I don't think that he did. I think he intended to de-escalate the issue. He misused. Let me finish.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish. But when the guy is laying limp in your arms and it's not a threat to you or the people on the train no more, why do you keep holding on?
Who knows? Like, I mean, in that moment, he just could have not been thinking rationally. You already are hyped up about the situation that's going on. He could have been scared. I don't know, but I just don't think he went into this on that morning on the train thinking I'm gonna kill somebody today.
No,
I just don't think that he did.
That would be first degree murder. So
Right.
I
don't even think when the man was acting in whatever way he says that he was acting, that he said that he thought to himself, I'm gonna kill him. I think that he thought he was going to de-escalate the situation. And once you're in the midst of it, yeah, you know to yourself that you have the potential, you have the strength, you have the power, the knowledge, the training. But I don't think you thought to yourself, I gotta kill this man. I think he thought maybe he did want to put him to sleep so that when the cops come, you know, they could take him away and arrest him, do whatever. But I don't think he intended, because the man hadn't hurt anybody.
No, he was acting erratic on the train and just making everybody uncomfortable. I do agree with what you're saying. I don't think he woke up and got on the train and intended to kill the man. Mm-hmm. I do think when he grabbed him, he intended to subdue the man.
Right.
But there's a decision you make when the body falls limp in your arms and he's not a threat no more. You feel that. You have put somebody to sleep. I have put somebody to sleep. So let's just, when that person is out. So let's just think when the person you put to sleep, you kept holding there for 5 more minutes. How long did it take you to put that person to sleep? 10 seconds? Yeah. Imagine if you just kept that person on the wall for 5 more minutes. They would have, I'd be seeing you behind glass right now.
Yeah.
They'd have thought you was mental. Same thing with me. If I'd have heard you was locked up for that, yeah, I'd have came to visit you. But same thing with me. Like when I did it, it's like, oh shit, like wake the fuck up. And then when they wake up, you're like, laughing, but you're scared a little bit.
Yeah.
But to hold somebody limp in your arms like that for 6 minutes, you have to know the threat is over. So that's like me. That's the extreme. But this the equivalent of somebody breaking your house. You shoot them. They fall on the ground, they not moving, you walk over top of them and shoot them 6 times in the back.
But see, I think that's different because you're not a trained person, you're nervous, you don't know for sure, you may have never shot a gun, you don't know, so I think that's different, but I get what you're saying. I would not be upset if he got charged with manslaughter, but I definitely think something less than like murder 1.
He shouldn't be charged with murder 1, but he should be charged with manslaughter. Because again, you choked that guy for 6 minutes. That's a problem, is the length that you held your arms around this guy's neck. Because again, anybody who, and we're not saying you should try this out there, but if you try to put somebody in a chokehold or press against somebody's chest, it takes under 10 seconds for them to pass out. Yeah. So to hold somebody tight like that for 6 minutes, like you gotta know that if I keep declining oxygen to this guy's brain, he's gonna die.
Right. Yeah.
You're a Marine. You got to know that.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it's manslaughter at.
So, I mean, he definitely should do some time. Lots of it, because you took a life. And I'm not saying, I mean, there are some instances in life where I used to always feel like we got to mind our business as a people. I haven't encountered an instance where I felt like I wanted to get involved. Maybe if it was involving a kid or something, I probably would. But I don't know for sure if this is something that he should have got involved in. Like, you brought this on yourself. Like, you didn't have to get involved. You just didn't have to get involved. Like, this guy was mentally ill. The guy that was killed, his family knew. Did you just fart?
No.
Oh, his family knew that, he had some issues and he would be outside, like, as some homeless people do. But yeah, it's just a very unfortunate situation that didn't have to happen, because he could have even minded his business, or he could have de-escalated in a different way.
He de-escalated all the way.
Yeah.
The guy won't ever escalate again.
Yeah.
Me and you, in our younger years, we meet. We both up. We in a relationship. We get a house together, and we together for a few years. Things don't work out, but you love the house, and you spend your own money to get some things fixed in the house. And I promise you that I'm gonna sell it to you because you spent your money in it. But then we break up, and I don't hold up my end of my verbal agreement that we had. Are you getting out?
I think it depends. Like, I would feel like...
Or would you just want... I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm going to let you land your plane. Or would you just want your reimbursement back?
Yeah, either one of two things. I will want my reimbursement back, or if I'm getting out, because so I know like this is related to the case with Drea and what was the guy name?
Tyrod Taylor.
Right. I feel like in this case, I don't think she wants this house like, oh, I fixed this house, I want to live here. I think she's looking at like, I want this house so that I can sell it and make money off of it.
$3.8 million.
She made these, improvements to it, whatever. So I'm thinking she's looking like this. She was investing in this to make money off of it. So I would feel like either pay me my
to her, right?
Yeah, either pay me my money back that I put into it, or if you're going to sell this house, then I would like to be compensated for like whatever profit you make off of it. I would like to receive some of that compensation. So whichever way. Now, I mean, technically giving me my money back is kind of it's the easiest way out because you just pay me back. But then you got to think about the time and effort that was put into it. But I would rather take that than go through the litigation. But I'm going to get out, but I'm going to pursue litigation for one or the other. I'm not going to just get out and be like, oh, take $250 as an L.
So let's put the caveat on it and say that your new baby father, your new soon to be husband or long term boyfriend is up $300 million.
I don't care. I'm not walking away. I'm not turning my nose up at $250, and this was my money. And who knows what their situation is?
What if he has a problem with it?
No, I mean, if he has a problem with it, let him give me my $250. But
okay, now let's back up. Let me add some pushback here. Would you take that stand like right in the moment, or would it be like, okay, it's me, I'm your man, and I'm telling you the way that you caring about this other nigga and this little bit of money, don't worry about that. I got you. Like this, I'm feeling some type of way because you putting this energy into this when you could be putting it into us. Like fuck this 200,000. Like I'm up 300 million.
Well, give me my 200,000. I think one of the mistakes
you got that without me handing you a check. Got that.
I think one of the mistakes that a lot of people make when they look at these women who are with men that have a lot of money, they have access to money. They can get gifts. They can live a certain lifestyle. But if that man leaves tomorrow, they don't have that money. So she may be looking at it like, yeah, I know I'm with.
They have a kid, in which they do.
Oh, but that's we talking about child support and all that, which I get all that. But when you're talking about a woman who has worked hard to build up her own name and her own business and stand on her own, and she was looking at this as a business endeavor on her own without a man being attached to it in the sense of like her new man. Now, a man is attached to it, of course, because she was going to buy. She's not asking him for nothing. She was going to buy this house from him. She's not saying, oh, you were supposed to give me the house. But listen, just because she's with a man that now has all of this money, who knows what their finances is like. He may pay the bills, he may buy her bags, he may spend money, but it doesn't mean that she has his money.
My pushback is you're making it seem like it's on the up and up. And we just said, we're talking about Drea here. So we just said the fact that he was smitten over her and in a relationship, she looked at this like a lick. That's what I'm saying. Like she looked at this like a lick. Like if I put a certain amount of money in here, he gonna sell me this house that I can probably sell and make 6 times the amount of money.
But she didn't just think that. He said that he would.
I understand that, but I'm just saying that's probably why she put her money into it. Her hard-earned money that she built up. That's probably why she put it into it, because she knew this nigga is smitten over me. He gonna sell me this house. I'm gonna have a big. If something ever goes wrong,
you missing the mark. She didn't
I think
that. The mark. You saying she said, oh, if I put my money in here, then he gonna sell me the house. No, he said he was going to sell her the house.
And that's where I said if she put the money into the house, that's a decision she has to make. He asked her, okay, do you want to buy the house? And she said yes. That's why she started to fix it up.
Okay.
So when they broke up, he moved out and said, I'm not selling you the house. You got to get out my shit. And she never left.
That's corny. So do you feel like he don't need to stand on his word?
I think he should pay her money back, but I don't think you should get the house. Because again, you put $257,000 into this house and you want me to sell you the house. And the first offer was $2.3 million. And then he came back and said 3. And then she said no. So you said 2.3. She said that's what we agreed upon. And the house is worth 3.8. He said 3. And she said no. So I don't like you don't gotta have a house so much. You trying to make $1.8 million off your 200,000. To me, that's you looking at it like that's a lick. And it's like, okay,
it's a lick that we agreed upon, but I get what you're saying. So I think either she should either come up and offer more money because she's
if
going to
you really
make
want
money.
the house, then pay the $3 million because he hit you back with a high number just to see how bad you want the house. So if you really want the house, then pay the $3 million because it's worth 3.8. Yeah. It's worth 3.5. Like, who knows what it'll be worth in 10 years? It could be worth $6 million.
I agree.
So pay the money if you really want the house. But if you don't want to pay the money and you want the house based on your 200 grand you spent on cabinets, nah.
So I agree. She should buy they should negotiate. She should buy the house for, she may have to come up. I
stake that shit out and wait for you to go to a flight somewhere and rip them fucking cabinets out of there.
I get that she should come up and so that she can buy the house. Or if she's not willing to do that, he should reimburse her the money that was spent.
Definitely should reimburse her.
And if and that's so the L that you would be you really wouldn't be taking an L. You just wouldn't be making a come up because you're getting your money back. You're just not able to come up off of it.
Right.
But
you're getting a $3.8 million house for $3 million. You're not getting a $3.8 million house for $257,000.
Right. But what I'm saying is if she doesn't buy the house and she just gets her money back, then it's a wash. You ain't lose nothing. You just gotta find another house. But if you stay there, then you need to come up and buy.
How do you think that flies with me? I'm up $300 million.
No,
you don't sit your ass down. Fuck is you talking about? You sweating this nigga for that girl?
When I see a transfer to my account for what I spent, then I'm gonna pack my bags
your black
and leave.
Card. I ain't gotta transfer shit to your account. You can get the same account I go to. There go your black card.
But see, again,
with your name on
everybody don't operate that way. I might not want access to the same account that you have because some women feel like if you decide to leave tomorrow and you take my name off the account, then I'm SOL. So put my money back in my account that I spent, and then I'm willing to move on.
I can understand that.
I mean, because it ain't like they married. Right now, they just boyfriend and girlfriend. So if something happens tomorrow and they break up, then she's SOL. Just because you gave me access to your account, nah, I want my own account. And then, we can spend some of my money, we can spend some of your money, but at least if you decide to leave, I got this money. But she does need to either shit or get off the pot, literally. Either spend the money to buy the house, come up off that 2.5. Since even if you buy it for $3 million and you sell it for 3.5, or 3.8 or 4, you're getting your money back. So either come up or just let it be a wash and get your $250 back and walk away.
And there's been an injunction, there's been an eviction notice, there's been cops that's been called. They've been to the house, they just ain't catch her. Yeah. So eventually she's going to get served some papers to get the fuck out.
But I don't think you got to get served. I think they can take that on the door.
Well, they just said the cops. I mean that she wasn't available for the cops. She wasn't there.
Okay.
So I guess and wherever they live in California,
maybe you do have to be served. I don't know for certain.
It's different laws in different states.
Yeah.
Did you know about the cat lady conspiracy?
I don't.
It's actually not a conspiracy. It's actually a fact. But a lot of people, are like, wow, like I didn't know that. So every culture has a cat lady. Every culture has a woman that gets a cat, gets 2 cats, gets 3 cats. Next thing you know, she got 18 cats. But so what happens? There's a fungi that lives in the cat shit, right? It's called an A2TP or something like that. I hope I'm pronouncing it close, but I'm probably hacking the name. But it's like an A2TP, I think is what it's called. And this fungi lives in cat shit. So having 2 or 3 cats, eventually this woman or just the person who has these cats gets a little bit of cat shit on their hand and eventually eats some. Like it gets in their system. This fungi lives in the shit, goes to their brain, and breaks the receptor that tells them having 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 cats is too much. Yeah, it's too much. You shouldn't have that many. And as the many more cats that they get, the more shit that they have and the more fungi that is around, which means there's more of a probability that you're going to get fecal matter changing the box, changing the pans on your hands, and eventually rub your eye or get it in your mouth or have it on your food or your remote control or your doorknob.
Like you turn into a cat.
Yeah, and it's like that fungi does something in your brain. It gets in you and tells you or breaks the receptor to tell you, hey, having fucking 68 cats ain't good.
And you end up on hoarders.
Yes, but every culture has a cat lady. Like every race, every culture.
Well, yes, I mean that is disgusting. I've known some cat ladies, in my lifetime, and they've been to people, especially like working in offices, where you be like,
but they're sick.
But I'm saying cat lady loosely because they may have just had 2 cats or maybe 3. I'm not talking about people that had like 15 cats. I never knew anybody like that. But they may have had like 2 or 3 cats. But those are the people that like. Well, now I would not participate in any kind of office potluck. But back in the day, it would be like, if she made something. Because as nice as she may be, she got a lot of cats. And there ain't no way for cat hair not to be in there. Or they the type of person that let them be on the counter, be on the table. I remember I had a former friend who she wasn't a cat lady per se. She just had a cat. And when she would say like, the cat would take food off the counter and stuff. And this is a black girl. That blew my mind because like culturally that's just not something that I thought we did. Like I don't play that pets like mingling where food is. Area. Don't even really be in the kitchen. I mean, it's kind of hard. I remember when we had a dog, when I would wash the dishes, he would always lay on my feet. Like always lay on my feet. But it's like, nah, I'm not feeding you from the table. You can't get up on the table. Now, if you have a dog, they will try to steal food. But like to have cats just hop up on, I'm not a cat person at all. Like not even a little bit. No. But to have multiple, we tried that in our life. Yeah, we tried that for a short period of time, and then we didn't really want to engage with them. I mean, we wasn't trying to harm them or anything. But
I don't do shit. They don't care that you there. You don't care that they there. You don't engage. They're just walking around. They come out when they want to. It's like, what the fuck are you here for? I just feed you and clean up your shit. Yeah. At least a dog is happy to fucking see you. You leave for 8 hours, the dog think you've been gone for 8 months. Yeah, and he's like pissing all over the place because you came home. Like that's annoying, but a little bit fun. It's like I'm getting some attention.
I don't trust the cat like at all. You sneeze the wrong way and they attack your face. Like I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
3 grams. Kai Cenat was given an interview and talked about his journey, right? And I didn't know that this kid was 23 years old, and just 8 years ago, he lived in a shelter with his mom and his sister, and was homeless and eating out of dumpsters and things like that. And just 8 years later, this kid is worth $14 million just from streaming. Has the most streamers on Twitch, like 7 million. And I just think it's for a young black kid that stayed away from the streets, that stayed away from drugs, that stayed away from and whatever his show is, the antics and all that shit, we know it's just entertainment, but that's a hell of a story. And I just think it's commendable. I just think his journey is super commendable. Like I read that shit and was like, wow, like I knew he was popular, but I didn't know his background. And when people do like these podcasts and have long form conversation, you get to know people. And I didn't know that about him. And it just made me look at him different. For as young as he is, the way he's handling all this, being worth $14 million, being in one of the biggest houses and wherever he lives at, because he always talks about that. Like, and then 8 years ago, you were sleeping on a cot with your mom and sister in a shelter. Yeah. That's crazy.
I didn't really know much about him at all, but I saw a clip of, it wasn't an interview, but it was him talking to his viewers, celebrating him reaching 1 million subscribers. And he was talking about, his past.
Getting emotional.
And yeah, right. So I seen the same thing, and just him, talking about his life and where he came from. And I too thought like, I am not his target audience, but I thought it was commendable to see the commitment and dedication he puts into what he does. Again, I'm just not part of that generation. I don't even want to say generation, because I really don't know what generation. I don't know what his target age group is. I am not the target demographic. I don't know. I don't even know what Twitch is.
It's a platform.
What when you say platform, is it like an app like Instagram, Twitter? Like it's one of them? Okay, so I don't even have
the Aiden Rosses of the world. The Kai Cenats. The white boy. He's almost like a young Andrew Tate.
Okay, yeah. I don't have the capacity for another app. I forget that I even have I'll like be on TikTok for like 3-4 days, then I don't be on there for like 3 weeks. I forget that I have it. Like between Facebook and Instagram, that's it. Like I don't have the capacity for more. But his story and seeing his success, not hearing about him in any drama,
no.
it is commendable, and I'm happy that he has been able to, change the direction of his family's future, and I wish him more success, because it seems like regardless if it's entertainment for me or not, it doesn't appear that he's doing anything negative.
No.
So as long as he's able to continue to do that for his family, that's awesome.
And no drugs, no drug way out, no basketball, no sport way out, like the just the norm, like this technology wave that these young kids are on. And he turned that shit into an empire, and only 23 years old. Like, it's just crazy to see, like, you understand something in its infancy and get right on it, and when it blows, you blow.
Yeah, it's all
like having the foresight to see that.
He's almost like and like one of those people that I put in the category of like the Wallow, him, the Joe Rogan. It's like that path that they create. I don't want to say it's once in a lifetime, because other people can follow the path. Like Joe Budden is awesome at what he does in that same lane with Joe Rogan, but I'm just talking about those people who have like leaps and bounds when they got into it, like they took it and ran, and that path isn't for everybody, and you'll have a lot of people trying, not saying copycat, but just trying to do the same thing because they're inspired by it, but not everybody will achieve that same level of success. So I look at him as one of those, and like, one of those like forerunners on that path.
Yeah, having an understanding of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How much money are you willing to loan with no payback?
So I mean, with possibly not getting it back.
Okay. So you say it.
Yeah. So no, same thing. So how much money would you be willing to loan and like taking on the chin if for whatever reason the person didn't pay you back? So I'll just preface this by saying recently there was a video, you may know these people, Vernon Maxwell. He had released the video, $10,000. Now he's a former basketball player. He's a former basketball player. He talked about loaning that money to another former basketball player, and
I made his Instagram account just to make that video.
And it was funny because he kind of went back and forth saying, "Give me my money," or "You keep that money, but give me my money." It was like, you want it back or not? But I get it. $10,000, that ain't nothing to sneeze. First of all, just you having it to loan it, you have it, and that's great that you were willing to help somebody. But that ain't nothing to sneeze at and be like, all right, I got burnt. But some amounts of money you could be like, all right, they ain't pay me back. They can't ask me for nothing again. $10,000 ain't it. I want that back. That ain't something to be like. Now for me, I don't know why this is like my number for a lot of things. Like $300, I think would be the max, and that's pushing it. I ain't saying I'm willing to give that away, but that would be like the max. I want my $300 back if like I was to loan that, but I feel like anything over $300 is $500, and if it's $500, that's $1,000. Like I'm in my mind, $500 is $1,000. So, and I'm not willing to just chalk up $1,000. So anything over $300 is now $1,000. To me.
Absolutely nothing. I wouldn't. I'm not
nothing
there. No.
$10, $50.
No, I need my chip. I get up at 3.
Yes, you need it back, but
I want my chippers. You delinquent, I want my chippers. I don't owe nobody, so I don't want you to owe me. I don't ask nobody. I don't borrow, so I don't expect people to ask for a loan. Now, and I don't have nobody in my life that I would loan a significant amount of money to and be like okay with not being paid back.
Now, I'm not saying you're okay with it, but if it would be like...
Now, look, I have to have a certain amount of money to loan somebody $10,000. And I have to have that person in my life that can come to me and say, can I borrow 10 grand? Now, I think I have a way to combat that. You tell me if this is right or wrong. or disrespectful or whatever. But if somebody say, oh, hey, cuz, I got, this house and shit, my bills and shit, I need like 15 grand, my shit backed up. And I say, all right, that's cool. Just send me your information. I'll pay for it.
I don't
Because if you really want me to pay your bills and you fucked up and you backed up and I'm saying, okay, just send me who you owe and I got you, I'm going to pay for it, then why wouldn't you do it? Why do I have to give you the money?
Well, because people, you got to think about this, right? If somebody's backed up on bills, it may be like something they trying to work. Like they may owe this people, let's just say they may owe this person 400. When I say person, meaning like bills. 400 here, 300 here, 600 here. They might be 2 months back on rent. So their plan may not be, they may determine in their mind, all right, if I ask for 15,000 is a lot. But if I ask for this money, all right, I'm going to pay the 2 months of rent. I'm going to put something on this, put something on this. I'm like, they may.
All right, let's just say it's I want to buy this house and I need a down payment.
No,
it's like, because you got it. Like, I'm going to fix this house up.
I need to be on the deed.
And let's just say you okay, yeah, and you offer that gesture. Is that disrespectful to be like, okay, get the everything in order. When it's time for you to sign the papers, just send me the thing and I got the wire to the people. But I'm not giving you the 20,000 yourself to go get the house when you get everything ready to sign, or I'll go with you that day and I'll cut the check for whoever you owe, the bank or whatever you owe. Yeah. But I'll cut. But I'm not giving you a check for 20 grand written out to you.
No, yeah. I mean, again, I don't. And if you
that's really how I think you can deviate or you can circumvent a person needing 8 asking for 20.
Yeah, but I mean that because it's something so specific, I think so. But if I need to be on the deed, and then once I get
that's another story. Yeah.
Well, once I get my money back, then we can have this deed amended and take my name. Right. We can have this amended. We can have my name removed. But if I'm putting the down payment, and if you don't have the money for the down payment, maybe you need to reassess, is this the right move for you? It's certain things that I don't want to be a part of, because that kind of decision making, I'm feeling like you're not prepared. If you're not prepared for the entry fee, how the hell you gonna be prepared for what happens after?
Yeah, how you gonna maintain?
Like, yeah, I'm not, but I'm talking about like, let's just throw this out there, you got a cousin and his name is Billy, and he like, oh my, he called you one morning, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you on your way to work, he on his way to work. Oh, cuz, my car, I hit something and my tires bust and blah, 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 and I need $700 to get these tires. Now that I could be like, what's the tire? No, but I'm saying in that situation, it could be like, okay, what's the tire place number? I can call them, or you could be like, all right, I call and I give them my card number, whatever.
I'll be like, you know what? I'll call you right back. I'll make a phone call. And I would say, where you at? And I would find the nearest tire place and I would pay for 2 tires over the phone and call them back and say, yo, if you go over there, your tires are paid for.
I think that,
if that really happened, then you would go get them 2 tires. Yeah. If you needed 300 and asked for 7, then you fuck. But you still,
so your answer is fuck. 0?
0. I need my money, babe. I need my money. Yeah.
Okay.
I need my money. Last gram, Kendrick Lamar called out Schulte.
Is that what he meant in his music?
Yes, like in that line, don't be having white comedians talk about black women.
Because it's funny, because I saw a response from Gary Owen, but I was like, Gary Owen, he doesn't down black women in any way. Women. Like, yeah, exactly. So I thought to myself that he was from the time I heard that's who I thought he was talking about. Yeah. Schulte, did Schulte respond?
Yeah, I didn't look at it though, but I heard there was a response. Yeah. You think Schulte wants smoke?
I don't think he wants smoke, and I think he's going. First of all, when he was getting he was getting a lot of heat about the comments that he had made about black, and then it died. It went away, which
that's the news.
I don't know if it is something that we should have written him about. I like Schulte as far as a comedian, but I do feel like in our culture we let a lot slide. Again, it didn't bother me what he said. But why? But unfortunately, black people, we don't stand on business like we should, like other cultures. let him has said something about, Jewish people or Asian people or, indigenous people, something negative in that sense that they didn't like, they would have rolled that until he issued an apology. We was mad. People when I say we, I mean as a whole. I didn't care, but people commented, left him hundreds of comments on his page, and then it went away.
I don't see. We have a perspective about different races and the shit that they do. We as black people, we talk about everybody, but when somebody talk about us, we only say we can talk about us, and I think that's wrong. So I think white people that have touched our culture, have been in our culture, done good by us in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I think they get a pass, and they can have an observation about something if they've been in tune with it. Like Michael Rubin, when he said the way that people jump on Meek about shit, and it's like you can have that observation without being told, hey, shut the fuck up because you ain't black. Yeah, like that shit is corny. So when Schultz said what he said, okay, he can have that observation. What I don't like about when Schultz does is he sees what works, and then sometimes he leans into that. And I don't think he should lean into subliminally downgrading black women, because it could come off a certain way. The first time it could be jokes. The second time maybe jokes. The third and fourth and fifth and sixth time, people gonna think that's how you really fucking feel.
You're cultivating this message.
Exactly. And you're leaning into something that is making everybody click to your thing and all this kind of shit. So I don't
we shouldn't be the brunt of your jokes.
Yeah, I don't like when he does that. Once, okay. Twice, okay. But when you start leaning into it because it's gonna get Taylor mad, or everybody gonna start, all this shit. It's like, nah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But if you're tapped into the culture, you should be able to say, hey man, the way that this comes about isn't cool.
Right. And again, I think making a joke about it or touching on something as a comedian or as a person with, an observation, that's your opinion. I don't think it's always degrading. He said something to the fact that like black women having attitudes or something like that. That's like, okay, the running joke of it's we pop our back and all that kind of stuff. When they say Latino women are crazy, they talk about white women being, so submissive, Asian women being like sex, like sex dolls in a kind of way. So, I mean, you have those stereotypes out there. But like you said, making a joke about it, but then keep pressing it and pressing it and pressing it. It's like, all right, like what you it's a lot of other things to talk about. What you really trying to say?
You're gonna get kicked out the cookout. Like you made the joke at the cookout, ha ha ha, we laugh. It's funny. Yeah, you're right in a certain way. As as black women, I'm sure they can say, yeah, we have attitudes, but they don't like for you to say it.
Yeah, and we only have an attitude when you give us an attitude.
Yeah, I'm not saying like you wake up in the morning with an attitude. I'm just saying everybody has attitudes, but and again, I don't like the fact that we sit back and talk about every culture and say what we don't like about every culture and what we do like, and fuck this and we wouldn't do that, and how the fuck could these people do that? And the second somebody say something truthful about us, is shut the fuck up because you ain't black.
But you know what I do like? I've seen this dynamic on like Threads, which is like the new Twitter, I guess, or whatever. And it's both sides, right? Sometimes people will have a conversation and they'll be like, I'm talking to black people. And if white people respond, they'll be like, this is not a conversation for you. Like, I'm not talking to you. You don't understand. But I also like the threads that they'll create and say, all right, white people, what's the question you want to ask black people? Where they kind of like open the door. And it's funny. Like, it really is funny. Like, they'll ask questions like, how y'all know how to season food so good? Or why y'all love chicken so much? Or black women, why are y'all not satisfied with one hairstyle on your hair? Like the questions, they come across as not degrading, but like they're really coming from a genuine place of white people being curious. Like obviously this
is the shit that they're whispering about.
This is the stuff they really want to know, and maybe they don't have black people in their lives to ask, and they really are curious about it. I love those. It's funny to me.
Like, she's my new neighbor. She's been around for a year, and her hair's changed 20 times.
Yes. So I mean, I do, and sometimes you'll see the reverse when they, they'll run and joke about white people not seasoning food. I just saw a video yesterday where this black lady was talking about how she seasons her charcoal
with the onion.
And
that's bullshit.
And the white man was like, "All right, like
this is why I'm stepping it up.
I'm going to their side. Like we don't even use salt and pepper, and they're seasoning the charcoal.
That's wild. That shit gonna burn up so fast. Like, that is crazy. It looks good, but it's like, nah.
Yeah, I just don't think it works like that. I mean, the thought is like, you season this, it burns, the smoke, but those onions gonna burn and stink real bad. Like,
the season gonna burn.
Like
it's like you put it in a pan and just put fire to it. That shit gonna burn.
Yeah.
It's just dry. That's crazy. That's a wrap. Back to the podcast, episode 204, coming to a close.
You saw that?
Do it again. 204 coming to a close. Episode 204.
Wait, now you went too fast.
Episode 204 coming to a close. Y'all know all the platforms. I don't gotta read them. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Fuck with us. We fuck with y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. We enjoy bringing it to you. We enjoy being back in these seats talking shit. Y'all can catch us next week in the same place, same time, same bat channel. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.
It's lover time.
Oh, God.